Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. Hope you're all okay. My name's Mike. I'm your host in a very warm temperature. Currently 33, 34 degrees at
Put a shirt on.
Midnight.
Put a shirt on.
Why am I putting a shirt on?
Because I don't want to see your tits, thanks very much.
I ain't got my tits out. I've got to look at your ugly face.
Alan,
I've already had that conversation with him.
Yeah. Alan, for someone who's already done the show in bed, Ozzy and me can complain. I think you and Martin are two peas in a pod.
And on the toilet, Rich. Let's not forget that one.
Yeah, this is a great way to return. A great way to
I know you were looking at expanding the channel, Martin. I didn't realise it was going to go to this extent.
Oh, bit of nipple there.
There's no nipple at all. It is. Stop telling me what to do.
Well, you don't take your shirt off when you're in the reception.
I've been walking around the hotel with no top on, thank you very much.
Okay. But not when on the show.
Anyway, I'm not in charge of the comments tonight. Ozzy is, because Ozzy's getting in some practice for running the shows. So I'm just going to off camera. Good evening, good afternoon. So hello to everyone in the comments. Good evening to Ed, Pat, Rich, Ozzy, and Alan.
Good, thanks. How are you?
Anyway,
Good.
yeah, we said we weren't going to come back until there was news. Well, there's news. Manchester City have signed their fourth, fifth, sixth, I don't know anymore. Signing of the summer. James Trafford, Alan's boy, is in medical.
Get in! Get in! I told you! Yeah. Get in! I told you he was coming. I told you he was coming. All day long he was coming. Get in. That lad's a talent, so we'll just have to see how he goes on. Hopefully, he takes his chance.
Oh dear. Oh dear. We're not going to be at the end of this, are we?
Typical Alan lads. Typical Alan lads are talented. Just wait and see.
You won't near the end of it till 7 minutes into his debut. He doesn't go for a cross quick enough, and the opposition score. Told you it's rubbish. He's worse than Otamendi. Worse than Otamendi.
Worse than Nunes.
He's Otamendi with fucking gloves on.
Bring back Perry Suckling.
It's due to sign a 5+1. Medical is tomorrow, tonight, whenever you want to call it, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, there's also been fresh links to a certain English right back, Tino Livermento. The news I've had is that is true. Whether City make the bid or whether it happens is a different matter. But Livermento has expressed reportedly the move now because Newcastle are in a little bit of turmoil at the moment due to a certain Swedish striker who's upset the apple cart over there. So yeah, we'll kick off with Trafford. As I said, big up to everyone in the comments. I'm very limited on comments. So I'm going to come off camera because I am drinking and smoking and chilling because I am still on holiday technically. So I'm going to be off camera while you lot talk.
Thank God for that.
Go on then, Alan. Have your say.
No, I think Mr. Trafford, at the end of the day, we all know he's got talent and he's got ability. Now he's got the chance to prove it. So hopefully, with a bit of luck, he'll do well for us. He's only 22, 6'5", good with his feet, good shot stopper. He's not 19 anymore, so he's improved since last time we saw him really in the Premier League. So I'm really pleased we've got him because, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, is that Ederson has undernarred about his future, not committed himself to the club for long term, where the club have to make a decision and have to make a decision for the long term, not short term. So I think they made the right decision, to be fair.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I think it's a very good signing. I think there's two things that people have been moaning about Trafford, which I both think just pretty stupid, really. One is that he's played in the Championship now. I've long held the view that for goalkeepers, it's harder keeping goalkeeping it below the elite level than it is in the elite level because the organisation, the defence, the coaching, shots piling in from everywhere. So the Championship's not an easy league. The Championship's probably the hardest league in world football, and to do a brilliant job in the Championship means that in terms of alertness, in terms of just playing all the time, in terms of being exposed, having to do a great job in goal. I actually think the Championship is a fantastic schooling ground. And the other one I've heard, which makes me laugh, which just shows how silly some people are about shiny toys from foreign leagues, is he's not experienced enough. We should go for Chevalier. Now, as far as I'm aware, James Trafford's played about twice as many games as Chevalier in first team football. I think Trafford's played more games than Ederson had when he signed for City. So I think Trafford's actually really experienced. He's had 4 or 5 seasons playing, first choice for most of that time. One in the Premier League, a couple in the Championship, and then he had 2 seasons where he was nearly ever present for Bolton. I mean, he says he's a Bolton fan now because of his time there, and I think he might have had another dozen games at Accrington or someone else up in Lancashire as well. So he's played a lot of football. He's played a really hard Championship season and done magnificently in it. And he's homegrown, club-trained player, and that's worth an extra player in the squad. So that on its own opens up our negotiating position about our right back, because having him instead of Ortega means you can sign one more foreign player, which means we have options, either to keep one of the young lads who we might have had to loan out. It gives us options if someone like a Gundo or someone doesn't go. It gives us options of one extra player, and above all, particularly for a year or 2 time, as some of the young players who are currently under 21 get of age, it opens up the squad to them. So I think brilliant deal all round. 20% discount because he's one of our own. He effectively adds a whole slot to the squad in Europe and the Premier League, and I think he's the best young keeper around. I think he'll play for England. I think he'll play a lot of games for England. And if I was Pickford, I'd be deeply worried that once Trafford gets a run in the City side, the only reason not to pick him for England will go away. So, I'm looking forward to young Trafford saving a penalty to win the match at Old Trafford. Come on, City.
That will be good. He's going to make mistakes at 22. We just have to accept that and bear with him and back him. So,
yeah,
you know,
but Ederson makes mistakes at 31.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. He's not. We haven't had goalkeepers who don't make mistakes. Well, not in my lifetime. So, that's that's just life.
That's a different challenge.
I didn't hear a word.
That's Luke and Bebo that do not in my lifetime.
Oh yeah, happy. Yeah, very happy with the signing. Not really going to bother too much about how I feel about what other keepers might be on the way out, because I'm more pleased about the fact that we're sort of following a similar suit to what we did, not just this transfer window, but back in January, where not only did we bolster our ranks, but we've also looked to the future. We're not looking at what we can do for the next season or two. We're looking at what we can do for the next 5 or 10. And given James Trafford, at his age and that, there's why not believe that he could be at the club for a long time. So I'm kind of glad that they've taken this initiative. I've got to wait and see what happens in terms of the team dynamics, whether Ederson's going to remain number one or whether it's going to be like a 1A, 1B sort of situation. I do hope that we can go as deep as possible in all competitions, so that at least it gives each player a fair chunk of game time that they can play to as well. Do I want Ederson playing as many matches as possible? Possibly not, especially if Ederson keeps at this rate and he's definitely out the door in 12 months' time. I'd like to see Trafford get bedded in a bit more, maybe a little bit more than what we're expecting him to be. But overall, very happy with it. It's amazing how, given how skeleton we were with the quota, that this is, quite a relief having Trafford in the squad now as well too. And let's just hope that our new young Trafford is a lot less leaky than a certain old Trafford. So I can't think of anything negative.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Apart from Alan being overly jovial, but apart from that, look, happy with the signing and really looking forward to seeing what our goalkeeping division can do this season. Because I'll tell you what, I think it could be exciting.
Yeah, Ed, what are your thoughts, mate?
For me, it was just all about the experience, because he has the ability. It was just more about experience in big games, but he'll develop that. I think a big win for City is keeping Ederson instead of Ortega. For me, honestly, you still have an experienced first choice keeper right there. If there are some mistakes, you have somebody that Trafford on the kicking side can learn from, to see them practice, to go through with it, his technique. So he'll be able to, and also he'll get some cup time like Ortega did, and maybe some more games here and there. But we just got to back him. He's a young guy, 22. We know it does take time for some goalkeepers to develop their craft until they reach that their ceiling. But he can, when you're talking about shot saving, I think he's an improvement. You're never going to find anybody kicking wise like Ederson. I think we can all acknowledge that. But when you look around for young upcoming keepers, outside of Chevalier and Garcia, I think Trafford is right there. So, I think it is an investment for the future. And, he was able to rebound from that bad debut in the Premier League to keep his place, to keep on getting better in the Championship. And that shows a level of mentality too.
Yeah.
Can I just say?
I was just going to say, in big games, everyone forgets just how big the title running in the Championship is. The Premier League's worth 150 million to those Championship sides who are earning a tiny fraction of that. So the Championship running is as big as it gets in football in terms of impact, importance, pressure, money. So I think, and he's played in, major tournaments for the England under-21s as well, winning tournaments. So I think people forget that he's played in a relegation battle from the Premier League. He's played in a promotion from the Championship. He's played in major tournaments for the under-21s. So he's actually played He's played far more big games than Ederson would have played when he came to City. He's probably played 5-10 times as many really big, important games as Ederson had ever played when he signed for City. You know, Bravo had played important games, but I think people, and he's played far more big games than any of the signings from Espanyol or from France or other keepers we talked about. So I think that needs to be a perspective we keep on him. Sorry, Ozzy, over to you.
That's all right, mate. Yeah, I was just going to pick up on that point, actually. Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that actually Ederson had only had one season at Benfica before we signed him. Before that, I think he was in the B team for them, and then he was coming through the Brazilian. So, like, Ederson's experience, actually, Trafford has got more than Ederson at this point. You know, he's also very familiar. He's come through the academy, as that's been pointed out. So he understands the way City play. He's been really and truly, he's been preparing for this for a long time. You know, he's I think, you know, there are quotes from him saying that he's always felt that he wanted to be City's keeper. He's been waiting for this move. I mean, there were reports that while he was linked to Newcastle, that actually he was dragging his feet for that transfer because he felt, and he was told, that actually there were rumblings that one or both goalkeepers would leave in the summer, and he was, you know, ready to take one of those spots. I think he obviously wants to be number one, but I think he knows that he can buy his time because Ederson, you know, regardless of Ederson sticking around, you know, for next season, he'll be gone at the end of next season. So I think it's a brilliant piece of business. You know, we all know that we said this about Kevin De Bruyne. When it comes to Ederson, there's no replacing Ederson. Like, he's fantastic at what he's done. He's changed goalkeeping in this country. He's changed it in Europe with his distribution. And we've always said that Ederson's not particularly a great shot stopper. Actually, if you look at his numbers, he's pretty good. You know, he's not an Alisson, but he's still up there in the percentages of actually doing a fantastic job. So I think, you know, we forget actually he's still a great goalkeeper. It's just, I think he's you know, shot stopping is always mainly focused on, rather than actually realising that he's actually pretty good with his hands. So I think at the end of the day, Trafford coming in, you know, I think he's good with his feet. He's no Ederson, but actually his shot stopping is a lot better, and his penalty saves are a lot better than Ederson. So I think if he continues in this trajectory, I think, you know, whoever said it, I think, you know, he's the future England goalkeeper, not just our future number one.
Yeah, and I think, you know, his route is quite like Joe Hart's. You know, Joe Hart came into the City side. He was a fantastic keeper. Yes, he didn't suit Pep's style of game, but let's not forget, for season after season after season before Pep came in, Joe Hart was the best goalkeeper in the Premier League and did a fantastic job. And Joe Hart became City's goalkeeper on the back of one season playing for Birmingham and a bit of time playing for City. So he came in far more inexperienced, and I think people just people do forget, and I think people think about this experience. Talk about, someone made a comment about Ederson having experience in Europe. He played about 5 games in Europe, which I think they'd lost 4 of. I mean, that isn't making a signing dramatically experienced. He played half the games that Trafford's played, and I think people are looking for negatives, and I do think some of this comes from online analysts, particularly people probably particularly outside the UK, where the Championship's almost invisible, where football doesn't exist outside the Premier League. And so I had no dig at you, but I think there is this idea that football doesn't exist outside the Champions League and the Premier League and the top leagues. Is that the Championship is the 5th most watched, 5th most paid. It is a really high standard of football a lot of time, and a very, very, very hard league. And I think it's it isn't lazy analysts to say that that's a a good league and that he has a lot of experience. He has the best part of 200 games. Joe Hart and Ederson did not have 200 games between them when
I think the other thing as well,
fantastic keepers for us.
Yeah, I think one of the other things as well that I've heard a lot of criticism with this move is that, I mean, there were talks about Diego Costa. Now, Diego does have more experience out of all the goalkeepers we've been linked with. He didn't particularly have a good season last season, but ultimately he has got that more experience. There was, someone mentioned Chevrolet and a few other goalkeepers. I mean, there was the keeper that's just gone to Barcelona, who is barely played for the club that he was at before. He's just signed for Barcelona. So I think out of all the options, it just makes so much sense. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It really does. Go on, Martin. Sorry, mate.
No, it's fine. A couple of things. I know we've got some super chats and memberships over. We need to read out, mate. Thank you for the patience. Big up to the England Lionesses, by the way, back-to-back champions. It's nice to see that some England team can win trophies. It is nice, that. So big up to the England Lionesses for that. It was really good tonight watching that. A few cocktails, so big up to them. But the one thing is, for me, I get people are a bit disillusioned with Trafford. I understand it. It's not the name they wanted, but that's what people are looking at. They're looking at the name. They want the sexy foreign name. And there's two boxes here that have been ticked for me. A rebuild is that, it's a rebuild. A rebuild is for now and for future. And that's what we've done. Everything we asked for in the summer, we've got the right back at the minute. We've got brand new backroom staff, tick, that's what everyone wanted. We wanted a new midfielder, tick, we got that. We wanted a left back, tick, we got that. We wanted a new goalkeeper, tick, we've got that. And it's just down to the right back. And I understand some are a bit, people forget we went shopping in January as well and spent 160 mil for the future, which will be used as well moving forward. So, to me, other than the right back, we've rebuilt the squad exactly what people were asking for. Now, I know some are wanting to be greedy and they wanted Rodrigo and they want all this, but you're not getting a Rodrigo.
No chance.
Because you've got Mamouche, you've got Doku, you've got Sabio. We need to just calm down a little bit. I know it's a lot of the online fans that are wanting the exact thing. And I get it, some are saying about outgoings. I think you'll get some outgoings. I don't think Gundo leaves. I don't think Ederson will leave. I think Ederson and Gundo will do their last year as well as Stones. And I think we'll have 4 players come the summer that will get a nice send-off. But what we've got is we've got the players already in, ready to go. And that's what I'm excited about.
Well said. We just got to stick with them.
Yeah, I mean, my concern is though, we're going to get caught. We're going to get caught with some registration issues, though. We're going to have to make some decisions.
Some just won't get registered. Some just won't get registered.
It's mainly likely to be in the Champions League. I think the Premier League, because in the Champions League, players like Echeverry and Rice, if they don't go, and they may well go on loan, but if they don't go, there's going to be a risk they don't get registered for Europe. I don't think in the Premier League it will be too hard.
Yeah, plus there is still time. I mean, there's still 4 or 5 weeks of the window left. There is still the outgoings, which we know are still coming. We know that there's going to be at least 2 or 3. Could be more. Who knows? But we know at least 2 are probably going to be going. So, let's just wait. Really, on those outgoings that will help with the registration issues.
I've said this all along, doesn't I think Grealish will be a deadline day or deadline week signing for somebody. I think it'll be one of them. He'll go on loan somewhere. Same with Calvin Phillips. McAtee, I think he'll end up abroad. Gundo, like I said, I think he'll stay. And everyone's going, Gundo's going to play every game. He won't. People have just got to calm that stuff down. We've got to calm it down. Regarding Ederson and Galatasaray cannot afford Ederson. Can we get to this? Galatasaray, yes, they have had money, but they put all their money in Sane and Osimhen. They've not got the money to pay Ederson's wages. He never mind the fee. They offered us €3 million. Get out of town. If they're offering you €3 million, don't tell me they've got money. They haven't got money. I'm in Turkey. Trust me, they haven't got as much money as everyone thinks there has. It's crazy at the minute what people are saying about Galatasaray. They're not bloody Saudi Arabia. Ederson, it'll be Ortega that goes, not Ederson. Unless Ederson kicks off now. But I think Ederson will be the number one at the start. I know I thought he would start the other day on South Stand, but I do think, I've changed my mind, I think Ederson will play. And then I think Trafford will take his chance. I think Ederson will just run out his last year of his contract.
I also think, if Ederson kind of, I don't know, lack of a better words, plays his face up, Trafford will just step right in. Do you know what I mean? It'll be like, you wanted to go for the last couple of seasons. You haven't brought a big enough deal to the table. You're in your last year now. We as City have got to concentrate on the future. You now add to your legacy by helping Trafford, become the number one keeper. Show some of the, your skills, put some of your mentorship into this player.
Yep.
So that's just the way it's going to be. And I've said for a long time.
Sorry, I just want to say Rodri's going nowhere. So before we start that silly conversation, Rodri's not going to Real Madrid. Can we cancel that? I don't even want to entertain that subject.
It's just hype articles until it's made public. He's extended it.
Yeah. But Martin, what gets me about that one?
Rich, we probably really should do these memberships because I'm quite. You can read them out, Rich. How about that?
No, it's okay. You read them out. I was going to make a Rodri comment, but I'll leave it till after you've done the.
You won't learn, Oz. You won't learn unless you read them yourself.
I know. Right, so Bree, thank you again for your 5 months membership. That is fantastic. Simeon, again, 19 months. Absolutely outstanding, mate. Thank you very much. And I'm struggling with this name, if I'm going to be honest.
Kitty or Karen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your 8 months. I will come to the super chat, but it's a long one, and I don't know if Rich can hold on that long until he's made his comment. So, Rich, do you want to just after I've done this? Let's hope this goes well.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Yeah, big thank you to all the members, and we really do appreciate your support. Go on, Rich.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say on Rodri, it cracks me up. People thinking Rodri's going to be desperate to sign for Real Madrid when that club publicly insulted him. As bad as I've seen a footballer insulted and treated by a club with their behaviour when he won the Ballon d'Or, they were absolutely disgusting. And I'd imagine the only thing Rodri would probably do with Real Madrid is go over there, get on a Learjet and do a massive dump over the Santiago Bernabeu, because he probably finds that club an absolutely disgusting institution who have so publicly signed him. So if it was Barcelona or PSG or other clubs, I might, think there was about 1% or 10% in a Rodri story. But Real Madrid, they that'd be like Alan signing for United. It's just, look at him, look at his face, merely contemplating it. It's just silly. And at Real Madrid, it's their own fault. They behave like spoiled, nasty little children, and it, maybe comes back and bites them on the arse. C'est la vie. Lesson learned.
Yeah, definitely. I just think the way they behaved was, like you said, Rich, absolutely abhorrent. And, for a Spanish-born as well, playing for, the national team and you want to sign him, don't insult the guy. Just, absolutely. Right, I'll move on to the super chat, unless anyone else has got anything they want to say about
Yeah, that's the super chats, mate. Thank you for your patience. So,
yeah, really appreciate it. Right, so MCFC. Do you think Isak joining Liverpool makes Livermento more likely, or unlikely, sorry, than it already is? Surely, if we have the price for the best player, they have the best right back. Why doesn't Timo kick a fuss up like him too?
who says he hasn't?
Yeah, but I do think Livermento's got a lot of respect for like the likes of Eddie Howe. I think he's got a lot of respect for Newcastle. I mean, I said ages ago that you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. These are two owners of two clubs who probably have a lot of respect outside of football. They have a lot of trading outside of football. I don't think this is the kind of deal that's going to be done publicly, if it's going to be done at all. I think there'll be a lot of talks behind the scenes. I think both clubs will be basically saying to Newcastle, what kind of money are you looking for this, transfer to be done, and it'll be back and forth of a price that suits everybody. That Newcastle look like that they can say, well, it's a high figure, it's 70, whatever it could be. They can sell that to the fans, saying, "Listen, it was crazy money. We couldn't say no. He's been a brilliant servant to the club, but we can invest that money elsewhere, especially if they were to lose Isak as well. I know it would hit them hard, but you just think of the amount of money that they would be getting from both deals. They could go out there and buy some top quality players. Do you know what I mean? They could buy 4 or 5 or just 3, 4 on a high transfer and still see the benefit. So for me, I think the deal's still possible. I just don't think we're going to hear about it anytime soon. I think this is one of these deals that's going to be, if it's done, it's going to be either done towards the end of the market or it could possibly be done next summer.
Yeah, and I think we're going to act respectfully.
I can give it the update.
Newcastle.
Tell me when you want the update on Livermento. I can give it you.
Okay. How you say?
Tell us now, because otherwise we might just
Had a message off Baz, who's in Portugal. As you know, Baz and Ian, 3 Black and White Eyes, top guys. We are starting a new show with them soon called the Oil Brothers. I've utmost respect for Newcastle. Livermento, I got a WhatsApp message off Baz yesterday morning. Livermento has told Newcastle he wants to speak to City. So I left it. I thought, oh no, that's just because of the Isak situation. The Isak situation, I don't know if anyone listens to a couple of the reporters that have YouTube channels up at Newcastle. There's a Luke Edwards, I believe. Ed, you'll know better than me. Is it Luke Edwards? He did say that there is an unrest at the minute within the Newcastle camp. This Isak news has really gone down badly, not just with Newcastle, but with their players. A lot of the players were promised things that have not materialised. I'm just going to blow my trumpet for 5 minutes here. Me and Alan had a discussion 5 years ago. And Alan was, Newcastle are going to do this, Newcastle are going to do that. I said, Alan, Newcastle will do jack shit because they will not be allowed to do jack shit. And that's turned out true. They're not allowed to do anything at the moment. They cannot. Newcastle's strategy this summer, and by the way, I'm saying this with the utmost respect, they have gone for big players and they are not able to get them out due to their wage demands and structure of bids, etc. They can't just go bidding 80, 90 million and offering players 200, 250 grand a week. They can't do it. Because once you offer Isak 300 grand a week, you're then going to have to offer Bruno, you're going to have to offer Gordon, you're going to have to offer Tonali, you're going to have to offer Livermento. All their other big players will start asking for big money then. So it's a bit of a problem. They're in a bit of a rock and a hard place. Now, whether it happens or not, I don't know. I think Isak leaving actually does us better than him staying. Because the big thing with Livermento apparently is it's more about the project. They think the project's gone a bit stale up there. It's gone a bit, not stale, stale's the wrong word. Sort of hit the brakes at a very, very fast pace up there. They're not getting training ground sponsors. They're not getting stadium sponsors. The stadium sponsor they were meant to be getting, Alco, looks like he's going into Tottenham. A lot of promises haven't materialised, which is a bit of a shame for him. It is a shame. But I will say this, because I've listened to a few Newcastle shows. They voted for these PSR rules. I know it was under a different regime, but they voted for this.
I mean, they haven't got
And we said a long time ago, it was Turkey's voting for Christmas. So whether it happens, I don't know. Will City pay the money that is required? I don't know. Will Livermento kick up enough fuss to get out? I don't know. Let's just, like Ozzy says, let's just see what happens with it.
Above all, I'm just hoping that the Isak thing goes on a long time, because I'm actually not that worried about Liverpool signing Isak. I think he's slightly overhyped. I thought against us we kept him absolutely quiet. You know, Johnny Stones made him look like a schoolboy footballer, and I think that City in the last 8 seasons, there's been 6 seasons we won the league, 2 we haven't. The 2 we haven't are the ones we were weak at centre back, where centre back injuries left us. Both the seasons Liverpool won the league were seasons we couldn't string the same partnership together for about 6 games. And Liverpool are 1 centre-back injury away from a lower championship level footballer in Joe Gomez starting for them. And that's a lower championship level footballer who struggles to stay fit for 10 games. So if I was Slot now, I would be looking at signing a CDM and 2, maybe even 3 centre-backs, because Liverpool have got Van Dijk is now 34, and he is going to drop off a cliff, whether it's 1 year, whether it's 6 months, whether it's 2 years. He's 34. He's going to drop, particularly the physicality in his game, and that is absolutely inevitable. And injuries become more likely. They've also got to deal with, Outland Arson's, still, okay for a keeper. Salah's 33 and a half now, so they've got to change 2 players in Salah and Van Dijk who are, at the Rodri level of importance to see, and they've got nothing at centre back. And I hope Newcastle keep them going for about 3 weeks, 120. No, we want 150, 125, and get Liverpool's focus all on Isak, because all Isak's going to do is, he doesn't work hard, he doesn't track back and press and everything else. So he's going to force, if they sign Isak, then Salah's going to have to play a different role than he played, which won't help him, because Salah's going to have to actually do some defensive work, because they won't be able to afford Isak and Salah hanging around doing nothing. So that's going to put pressure on, and they won't sign a centre-back. And if they don't sign a centre-back and get injured, Liverpool, if they have to play Joe Gomez 25, 30 times in the Premier League, will struggle to get top 4. And I don't care whether they, sign Mbappe, Vinicius, Isak, and Salah up front. If they have a defence with Joe Gomez in, they're going to be struggling. And if Joe Gomez gets injured, they're going to have some 15-year-old called Alf from Bootle playing for him at centre-back, or they're going to be doing something like playing Slobbersley at centre-back or something. So they've got that to deal with. And Isak's a distraction. He's a shiny toy that everyone thinks is the best thing in the world, but he'll distract them from doing what they need to do. So let's hope it's a 3-week massive tug of war. 120, no, we want 150. Liverpool's eyes get totally focused on that, and then that'd be the best thing for City, Arsenal, Chelsea, etc.
Ed?
I mean, yeah, but I think Liverpool's just too well run for that. To be honest, I just think a lot of people are just talking about how many new players we're adding to our team, but nobody's talking the same for Liverpool. A lot of their players need to gel too. and they have a chance of not hitting the ground running either. So, there's a lot of changes for a lot of top 4, top 5
You mean like
teams.
their defence? Everyone talks about how dodgy our defence is. Did anyone see the Liverpool's defence the other night?
Gravenberch.
Yeah, because they have the similar issues. They have Frimpong and they have Kirkes. They're going to have similar issues to us because it's going to be those long diagonal balls, long over top balls that's going to give them issues.
Yeah, I do think people are waxing lyricals about Liverpool, and rightly so. They've done some great business. On paper, all their signings look really good. And there's no denying that Wirtz is top class signing. You have to take your hat off to Liverpool for getting that signing. We can't look at it and go, oh well, whatever. No, he's definitely a top signing. Now the question will be, now with that price tag around his neck, will he settle? A lot of players who have gone for the 100 million, a lot of them haven't performed. A lot of them have not brought the goods. I can only think of 2, possibly you could think of, the likes of possibly Mbappe and maybe Declan Rice.
I think Rice has done well,
but he hasn't produced enough to win a title. Rich, he's settled in well, he's played well, but has he pushed Arsenal to the next level like they expected? No.
I'll be honest with you now, mate. I don't want to talk about them tossers from the end of the M62.
Yeah. Alan doesn't care about Liverpool. Told everyone this morning doesn't care, even though he's on the phone to me at 3 a.m. worrying about them.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
What are we talking about them scumbags for? All I'll say is,
wow,
Arsenal will challenge because they've got a striker now, which they didn't have before.
Arsenal got a much more rounded.
They haven't got a striker yet.
I agree.
They've got a much more rounded squad than Liverpool.
No, but they have to change their whole system, though. They have to change their because they're
why?
Oh, from Arsenal. Well, I didn't know you were on
they
Arsenal.
need to change their whole system.
Yeah. I think Arsenal have got covered in all areas of the pitch.
I don't care what anyone.
Liverpool
You know what, Rich? I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Liverpool and Arsenal can buy all these players they want. None of them have Pep Guardiola with a like a bear with a sore ass. Pep Guardiola, mustache and all. Yeah. He's even come back with a portage. The man is ready. The man wants it. The man is ready for tomorrow morning. They're going to bounce into training. Ireland's ready. I'm telling you now. I'm going to say it. We're winning the league. Bollocks to you all. I'm saying it with chest. I'm coming out now. We're winning the league.
No, I don't disagree at all. I think it's not. It's not just Pep.
He's on a few bevies.
Yeah,
he's on it.
None of them have got a striker.
He's got his tits out as well.
Haaland is levels above any other number 9 in the Premier League. Absolutely levels above him. And Rodri is levels above any other centre midfielder. So that spine, if we sort out the goalkeeper and keep our centre backs fit, we've got a spine that is simply better.
No, I'm saying now, Rich. I'll go further. We're going to win the double at least. We're winning the double at least. I'll tell you what. Give it till Christmas. Treble Father might come back out. Bollocks to Liverpool.
Calm down.
Bollocks
Calm down.
All right, calm down.
Chelsea. Chelsea and United and everyone else have spent mass amounts of money. It meant jack shit. Spending money means nothing.
No, of course it does, Martin. And I agree with you in some respects. I do think that Liverpool's title success was good. It was really good. They won the league. You can't take that away from them. But I do think if we hadn't fallen off a cliff, I do think having a proper challenger, because Arsenal, they bottled it. They completely fell apart for a few reasons. They had some injuries, but not compared to how we did. And I just think, as you said, Martin, with Pep feeling like, he's looked at his mistakes, he's learnt from his mistakes, and so the players, I think slightly he's going to be put under pressure. It's like, okay, now you're going to be up against a City team that's ready to go. You're going to be against a Pep who's ready to get his title back. I do think it's going to be a really interesting season. I do want to, because Pat has barely spoke, so I do want to get Pat in this. Pat, where are you, mate?
I'm back home. Jet lag's still killing me.
Is that the extent of how you feel, mate, or is there any more?
Yeah. Right. That's what
Don't do that,
anybody
Albert.
saw me on Dapster show the other night. I was very vague with responses just because I'm just very vague in headspace right now. Yeah. Now look, no, we're still talking about Newcastle and all that, aren't we? Or
you can start wherever you want, mate. Honestly, you haven't spoken.
Yeah, look, I didn't say much about that before, but I can understand why maybe Livermento's head's turned a little bit because I think it's only about 62 grand a week. You know, we can come in with double that and turn his head any day of the week, really. But I think there's a lot of things that need to happen elsewhere. I'm talking about Isak, Liverpool, and maybe some other unknown situations we're not aware of either. So, yeah, look, I'm just waiting to see what happens. I still think for the wheels to turn on anything incoming, we still need to see a lot more happening outgoing. And as you said before, there's still 4 or 5 weeks left. So if there's one club that knows how to be patient with any of their business, whether it's incoming or outgoing, is Manchester City. So I'm calm, I'm patient for now, and yeah, look, I can't really worry too much at the moment. You know, I do believe that, you know, Cheeky, Viana, and I'm sure Sheikh Mansour, sorry, not Sheikh Mansour, but Khaldun are doing everything in their power to find out what's going to be the best solutions for a lot of. Yeah, well, Cheeky's still there. So yeah. Oh, your Wi-Fi is working better, mate. Yeah. So
bit like your brain.
Yeah, just about the same. Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to the after photos, by the way. Yeah. So apart from that, look, I'm chill with everything at the moment. I mean, maybe when it gets down to like a fortnight to go, it might be a little bit different. But right now, I think we're just setting ourselves up for maybe a busy few weeks. And right now, I think we just need to just show a little bit of patience, and I'm sure this whole panel has, except for Alan. But we're looking good for now, and things are on the up. So I'm happy with the way things are moving, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what the next few weeks will bring anyway. But I'm sorry, but to be honest, like everything I'm telling you right now is just pure waffle because I've still got that Oasis concert in the back of my mind. Like that was the greatest day of my life. So
just to piggyback off of that.
Unbelievable.
Just before you do, Ed, and I've been really bad with the comments, and especially with super chats and members, so I need to get on top of that. So I do apologise, guys.
Top.
Yeah, all right. First down the job. Mark Harris, thank you for your membership for 17 months. Much appreciated.
We'll have a refill.
Thank you there as well. Super chat from our very own Fee. Trafford signing is a sign that Viana is invested in our future success, a positive sign. Cherky, 8 Nori, Reinders and Trafford, excellence. Totally agree with you, Fee. And I hope to see you soon.
Listen off, Hayes. Yeah.
And then we've got the 4 Bills. Bid for Livermento before Liverpool. Sorry, bid for Livermento before Liverpool for Isak. Yeah, I think we touched upon that a little bit, mate. And then last super chat, Mr. Perfectone. Liverpool likely to sign Isak. Go.
Liverpool to sign Isak Gay.
Thank you.
I feel like our lack of a right back and back winger with goal assist will cost us the title challenge.
Yeah. I mean, we've just said
we
about
don't really have right backs
to sign
with GA anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think anybody who gets him is a brilliant piece of business, and I'm surprised that he hasn't been snapped up already. I think because he's only got a year left of his contract.
Yeah, but they want 45-50 million though.
I think that's a snip, mate. An England international who was probably the best player at the Euros or World Cup, whichever one it was, the last. And I mean, I would have gone for him in all honesty if we'd have had the opportunity as a Stones or.
God, they'd want 70 or 80 from us.
Yeah, quite possibly.
You know they would.
So yeah, a big thank you to everyone there, and I'll just do this. Pepe's a very happy boy.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Yeah, I do feel that, I think we'll get onto this as the season get closer, and we'll be able to properly kind of have a deep dive into everyone's signings this summer, especially what's going to be the race for the Premier League and then the top four.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do a review when the window closes.
Yeah, in about 2 weeks, we'll do our prediction show on a Thursday night. We've got some guests lined up from other channels, other people will come on and give their predictions as well.
Awesome. That sounds like it's going to be we'll probably need a bigger window because we've already got 6 here. So you want guests as well, Martin? Blimey. We'll have to
you know what's going to happen, Martin? You do your show, and then within 48 hours, we'll have 3 outgoings and 2 new signings.
Yeah, we should do it after the transfer window closes. Wait till the transfer window closes, do it then.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it on the 1st of September when we play 3 games.
Why not?
Does everybody agree that I think the main challenges is, well, Liverpool obviously retain a title if they do, but is it Liverpool's to lose, and then is it City, Arsenal, Chelsea, or does anyone else there's another club that's got a shout at getting into?
I don't think
I don't have Chelsea in it. I don't have Chelsea in it. Sorry, but I don't.
If they get Donnarumma, I do give them a chance. I'm not going to write them off. They get Donnarumma.
I still think they need a number 9 as well. I still think they need
another one, Rich.
Another one?
Yeah. I don't think they've signed a proper striker. They just keep signing 80% strikers.
I think Liam Delap.
As long as I don't get Chris Wood.
Liam Delap maybe, but is he that? I don't know if he's good enough. But if he is, fair play.
No, I'll be honest with you, Rich. I think Liam Delap will be wanting to leave Chelsea in 12 months.
Yeah. Well, I just don't see their spine being strong enough, Chelsea. I think, you know what, everyone's worried about Liverpool. And I think, forget last season where, City and Arsenal fell off a cliff. I think Liverpool are a bit overhyped because of Arsenal and City's dropping off a cliff. I watched Liverpool a fair bit last year, and they weren't all that. They weren't close to as good as Arsenal and City were the year before. They weren't close to as good as the Liverpool side of Klopp in 18, 19, 20. They did well. They were hardworking. Now, they're signing players who, like Wirtz is a good presser, so I don't think Wirtz. But I'm looking at Liverpool's flanks, and I'm thinking, imagine they sign Isak and they've got Etiketti and Kirkes on one side and Frimpong and Salah on the other. There's not one proper defensive player out of all 4 there, and I think they will be so vulnerable on the flanks. And I think at centre-back, I think they need more than signing. Gray would be a great signing, but they need more than that. You don't want Joe Gomez at higher than your 5th choice centre-back, and they need someone who they think is going to replace Van Dijk. Konate's not signing. Konate's not signing his contract because his head's been turned by, I don't know, Barcelona, Madrid or someone. So he's trying to do a Trent Alexander-Arnold. So everyone's hyping up Liverpool, but I think there's a real danger at Liverpool that they're only an injury or 2 away from being in the position we were last season with our centre backs, or we were in 1920 with our centre backs, or they were, was it 21 when Van Dijk got injured? And, they're in real danger with that. And Arsenal have got backup in every position. So I'm more worried about Arsenal than Liverpool at the moment. If they sign 2 centre backs, that might change.
Rich, are you not more concerned about the way we're dealing with transitions? And I've got a question mark on how we deal with that after the last game we played. Because, I want to see us defend properly on transitions. I'm concerned.
You're not recency biased, though, Alan. Are you not focusing on Al Hilal too much here?
I'm not saying that, but it happened, mate. It did happen.
But yeah,
ignore it.
But Alan, but when you get a fully fit Rodri back, the transitions won't happen.
Okay.
I think that what I kind of see where Alan's coming from is the thing that I still worry about is that Rodri coming back is great, but will he be the full fit Rodri we've all come to expect? Because there is a chance. The one thing, re-injury is a very likely occurrence with him. There's also, like I said, is he going to come back to being the Rodri we all know and love? There's a chance that he might not. So
he's going to be in and out. He's going to be in and out because that injury was serious.
I think the thing for me is that, it's great that we've signed Aït-Nouri. I think he's a fantastic bit of business. I think going forward, he's immense. I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant. And I think possibly linking up with Doku as well and Reinders on that left-hand side. I just think we've always seen glimpses of it, and I just think it was brilliant. His defensive work is good at times, but I don't think it's quite up to the standard maybe that I'm worried about on those counter-attacks. So for me, it's then looking at where he's too far up the pitch. Then you've just got two defenders who aren't exactly quick. I mean,
correct.
So then you're thinking, well, then you're looking at the right side and thinking, is Núñez really going to do a job? And I think he's done enough of a job at the moment, but am I fully thinking that he is going to be against some of the better opposition? Am I still going to worry about those wobbly moments? Honestly, yes. So I still think, in all honesty, if we can get a proper defensive right back that can slot in and do those defending, we've seen Livermento have Salah in his back pocket. So for me, signing him would just be, then I would have that confidence even more so that we can go out there and win either the Premier League or another title. So I can see where Alan's coming from, in all honesty, mine.
And that's what I was going to say after Pat was, yes, Newcastle is a good project, but Livermento is also trying to get into that England squad too. And you want to be on a team that's around trophies, and you can be on display for that England manager to pick you too. You don't want to be on a team that's in and out of the league, might become a mid-table one year, might come back up, because you also want to advance in your career too. So it's going to be interesting how this all plays out. We might have to wait a year if he doesn't sign a new deal. But him and Vanderson are the guys I'm looking at right now that I feel like can do the job for us when you're talking about pace too. So
I'll be honest with you. As much as Núñez has done okay in that right back position against the top sides, I'm very, very concerned about not having the right fullback.
Yeah, no, I think we'll sign one. I'm optimistic we'll sign one, and I think there's a few other things people forgetting. One, Pep. Two, we played so much of last season without Haaland and nearly the whole season without Rodri. So they're two players who get into a World 11 in the spine of the team, and both are going to be coming back. And yes, Rodri might not be the same, but I'm not so worried about Rodri not being the same. The technology and the medical science now going into fixing those injuries, is immense. And Rodri was never a Benjamin Mendy footballer where his whole game was based on sprinting up and down a wing and playing the game. Rodri's greatest value is up there in his mentality and his positioning and his football, and none of that's going to be changed by the injury. So I actually think, whilst I don't think he'll be in a fit state to play every week till January, I actually think he is going to be okay. Aït-Nouri's added some real pace to the defence. When we sign a right back with pace, he'll add real, Livermento, if we get him, will add some real pace. And Kuzanov will, if and when he gets some game time, he's got some real pace. So we're starting to build in. And then behind that, the one thing I think, I'm a little bit worried that when Ederson goes, whoever goes in goal will see a little bit of a drop off in terms of that ability with the feet, because he's the best goalkeeper with his feet football's seen. So there will be a little drop off. But there will be an improvement in shot stopping. There'll be an improvement in goalkeeping one-on-one, etc. So I think we'll see a bit of an improvement and strengthening in that. So I'm confident. Yes, it might take us 6-12 months to get our defensive solidity of 2023 back, and we'll see a few mistakes early on. I don't think it's going to be like it was last October, November, which has still got everyone with PTSD. I don't think it's going to be anything like that.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I've got to go to a meeting. I've got to go and interview somebody, so I'm going to have to shoot. All right. So thanks for inviting me, Martin, and hope everyone's okay. And roll on the season.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Alan. And, we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
See you, mate.
And yes,
Bye-bye.
Alan still has a Nunes agenda.
He's fucking shit. See ya.
There you go. Martin, did you want to say something on the right back and respond?
Sorry, what? Sorry, I was cutting away them.
I said, do you want to respond to anything that's been said about the defensive frailties of not having a proper right back?
I mean, if we don't buy a right back, I think people will disagree. I think we've got enough with Stones, Kanja, Nunes, Kushinov. I think we've got enough to cover certain areas. I do think they'll buy. The thing is, for me, I want to buy the right back. I don't want to go out and panic buy a right back. I don't want to be doing that. I'd rather get the right back, the number one right back that they want. If that means we've got to wait 6 months, we've got to wait 12 months, then so be it. I'd rather wait and get the correct one than panic buy. I think we've got enough to cover each individual game. We've got different players who can play different skill sets and different things. Nunes, a bit more attacking. Kushinov, more defending, but he's got the pace. Akanji gives you the overall passer of the ball, movement around. Everyone goes on about... I get people are looking at last season's Manchester City. Well, if we're going to compare last season's Manchester City to everything moving forward, then we should have sold 90% of the squad, because hardly anyone had a very good season. Hardly anyone did. So I think it's a bit unfair and a bit disingenuous to look at last season and compare it. Everyone for me is entitled to a bad season. Everyone's going about Gundo and Bernardo. Well, Tijani Reinders played a lot of minutes in the Club World Cup. We've got Rodri back. He's going to play Reinders. He's going to play Rodri. So you can't fit Bernardo and Gundo in there, because he's not going to drop Reinders and Rodri for Bernardo and Gundo. I think there's too much panicking at the moment and too much recency bias in the negative way to have a real good, proper look at it. Because we don't know what's going to happen. We won't know fully until Wolves away in 2.5, 3 weeks. That's when we'll know.
I mean, I totally agree with you, Martin, about, I don't think we should be buying a panic right back. I think we should get the guy that we feel is going to do the best job. Now, for me, and currently, it's looking like that could be Livermento, but we know that things change. I mean, we were looking at the guy from Juventus. Remind me of his name, somebody.
Cambiasso.
There we go. And then we signed Nori. So things can change very quickly. I do think the home grower core is something that City do want to take seriously and do look at. So he ticks a lot of boxes for Livermento. It's just whether or not we'll do that deal ultimately. We'll have to wait and see. And I think you're right, Martin. I think there is still a lot of people are still hung up on last season. I think we just need to put last season to bed. It was last season. I think we have to give Pep, we have to give these players a fresh start. They've just come off 4 in a row, never been done before. We have to forget they won the treble, in that time as well. The things that we've done as a club have been absolutely remarkable. So one bad season and finishing 3rd in that season, I just
I look at it game by game, Ozzy. So like everyone had a go at Gundo at the Al Hilal game, and Rich was spot on with this. I went back and I rewatched it. We started making when Al Hilal started properly open us up. Gundo wasn't even on the pitch.
I remember that. Yeah, people that just cracks me up. Yeah.
It was Tijani Reinders that was causing us the problems in the midfield against Al Hilal. But
in the six, Martin,
again, you don't want to say it.
Yeah, there was people in the comments. There was people in the comments that day criticising Gundo for things that happened when he was sat on the bench because he'd been substituted, and he was getting back, which just shows you how. I think sometimes
getting away from things when he's sat on a bench.
There's online fans who honestly they're too busy typing their opinions about various players to notice they've actually been substituted and they aren't playing anymore, and they're there sat there criticising the player, and the player's like got a bit of ice on his hammy, and he's sitting there having a Powerade in the stand, and he's getting blamed. And it reminds me of that Paul Lake story where Paul Lake was sat in the stand and the fan in front of him was shouting abuse about how Lake was doing this and Lake was doing that, and how he let the other team score a goal, and Paul Lake tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, why are you blaming me? I'm just sat here having a cup of tea behind you." And that's some of the online fans are so busy slagging off players that they don't even notice when they're not playing. And
but hang on, can I just pull some up? Rose just said here, because Reinders is not a six, and because Gundo has to play that. Gundo wasn't even playing the six role against Al Hilal.
No, he's saying Reinders.
Yeah, but how can you blame Gundo, Ed, when he was the advanced eight?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Should be playing six, but he
Gundo
was
for the number six role when he wasn't playing the number six role. It's like me blaming Haaland for the goalkeeping errors.
Yeah, I just think as well, like Pep hasn't, he's got a load of new players. He's still got the players from last season. It's now just about seeing. We don't know what the starting 11 is going to be fully be yet. So, I mean, we've got an idea, but I still think you could look at the wingers and go, Doku did really well in the Club World Cup. Savio was a bit hit and miss. If he doesn't perform and get to speed next season, will we see Cherky coming to replace him, or Bob? So. And we've got Mamouche, as you said earlier on.
Oscar Bob, I'm worried for. I didn't want to say this when I went on. I'm worried for Oscar Bob. I am. Yeah. I'm worried where he gets. I know me and Pap spoke about it in other shows. Oscar Bob worries me where he gets his game time.
I have to agree, actually. I wasn't going to mention it, actually, myself, but I agree, you might. I actually am a little bit concerned. He doesn't seem to have kicked on from his injury. He's had quite a few setbacks. His confidence seems quite shot, especially when he came in on the World Cup. And I'm with you there. I do have some concerns that.
Let's just wait and see, though, with Oscar Bob.
Yeah,
because I think if we get to a McAtee situation like we did December, January last year, then I think that's when the writing's really on the wall. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
The thing is for me, Pat, is that we've been waxing lyricals over Oscar Bob for many years now, and rightly so. When he has played, he's looked brilliant, but I do feel we've put him in the category of he's going to be world class, he's going to be outstanding, and blah blah. We've not seen enough of him, Pat. Really and truly, we have not seen enough of him to say that he is going to be this amazing player.
Can I ask you all a question? Well, can I get the panel
tactics?
Hang on. Well, let me get a panel's view. Do you remember when Liam Delap? Remember when Aguero got injured in was it 21-22, 2021? When Aguero's last season, he got injured. And we had Delap.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, 2021. We had Liam Delap coming through. But remember, Liam Delap got injured at the same time as Aguero was injured. And the season after, we kind of knew that was the chance Liam Delap had missed. It was like his injury came at the worst time in his development.
Yeah. Because you
don't
remember
know
early in
why,
that
but-
season, we were still running
Yeah.
that, we were riding that hype of Delight because he scored that banging goal against Bournemouth, and he played a
Bournemouth
couple
in
of
the
okay
League Cup.
performances, but then
Yeah.
he got that injury and he wasn't the same.
Yeah. And Liam Delap, I said at the time, reminded me of an old-fashioned Alan Shearer. He was the brute in the box who would bully defenders off, shake them off, put the ball in the net.
Yep.
Do worry as Oscar Bob missed his chance through the injury, which is not his fault, and I hope to God it's not. I pray to everything I can Oscar Bob hasn't lost his chance, but was he just injured at the wrong time?
You also have to look at
That's what
It
worries
could have
me.
happened at a worse time.
Who's
One,
he-
in terms of the players around him, number two, that to go
Yeah.
on that form coming off the preseason couldn't have happened.
Well, you know
at a worse
yourself,
time.
football doesn't hang around for anyone. Football doesn't wait.
Yeah. It's
I
merciless.
think-
you
I
think
think
about
we
the players
don't know
that are
how
in front of him. You think about the players that are in front of him. You've got who can play on the rights. You've got Foden. You've got Cherky. You've got Savinho. You've got
Bernardo.
Doku. You've got Bernardo. I know he can play in the middle as well as a 10, but again, you just look at the quality that's in front of him.
I think we
He
don't
was offered
really
the
know.
chance to go out on
We don't
loan.
really know how we're going
Told
to
him
play
not
yet.
to.
Yeah, I think until we know how we're going to play and what Pep's going to want from the two wingers, which we really don't. We don't know whether he's going to want to play, a Bernardo type player out on the right, almost for the organisation, for the defence, for the structure of the possession, or whether he's going to want to go out and attack. Now, if he wants to go the, wingers, becoming a real attacking threat, then there's a lot more opportunity for Bob. And we might be debating on this show, we're only Cherky or Foden playing, that's a problem. And that puts a problem in the middle. Or maybe he'll want to play the likes of Cherky and Foden, Bernardo consistently outright, in which case there's a problem for Bob. Is Marmoush going to play 9 when, the 20 or so games Haaland doesn't play, or is Marmoush going to nail down a kind of David Villa wide of the front 3 type forward? So I think until we really see the tactics of the team and how we're going to play, there's going to be a squeeze for someone, but I'm not quite sure yet where it's going to be, whether it's going to be those.
Can I ask Ed a
players.
question? Ed,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
do you think of Oscar Bob? Because I know we've spoke about it privately, Oscar Bob and O'Reilly. Because we spoke about it when the rumours of O'Reilly came out of being a bit unhappy.
Yeah. And I was like,
Where do you
people-
see these youngsters?
I told you privately that I feel like O'Reilly, to me, is the perfect guy I want behind Altonori, who can still give us the up and down, who can invert. We wouldn't have to change our style of play unless it's the opposition we were changing it for. I feel like for Oscar Bob, to be perfectly honest, it's going to be very difficult for him to get in this team. Ever going to be honest about it, just because of the names we mentioned and that trust factor there from Pep. And we all know if you're not a certain level, you only have a certain amount of chances to get into the squad. And even when you do get into the squad, you could play well and we still might not see you for a few games too. So for Oscar Bob to get in, we're gonna know he's gonna be hitting some levels in practices to put him ahead of those guys that we mentioned. Or if there is an injury or something happens, he has to be, ready to take that opportunity.
What about Rico? Well, someone else we didn't even mention at right back was Rico Lewis.
Well, Rico signed a new contract, so I think he, a plan had to be laid out for him to sign that contract. But right now, for the here and now, the presence, I still think Rico needs to develop. I think he could be that. This is the thing we talk about too. Like, are we going to keep on buying for the midfield, or are we going to let Rico or O'Reilly take over Bernardo's position in the following year? That's another conversation, right? If you want these youngsters to actually have a good shot at it. we're not going to be able to buy a Bernardo replacement if we want that chance to go to Rico Lewis or Riley.
Well, I wouldn't do that. That's why I said I would have O'Reilly as the Bernard replacement.
Yeah.
Interesting thoughts there. I'm going to move. I'm just going to do the super chat because I did miss this one. Again, Mr. Perfect Time. I don't know why we haven't signed Gahey to replace Akanji, Ake, or Stones. He's homegrown and he's only 25. Yeah.
There's no.
I think because we signed Kusanov and Rice, and we have Gvardiol's pretty young as well. So why would you go and sign Kusanov and Rice and then go and sign Gray? I think we made our call. And
you signed that Gahey. You're basically telling Kusanov and Victor Hayes they haven't got a future.
Yeah. So I think we've filled our young centre back spots and made our call.
And Juma Bar. Sorry, someone we keep forgetting about is Juma Bar.
Yeah, 3 in, 3 out. That's how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
This is why I think
we're probably going to see a lot less.
You want the academy to work, I'll stop making signings.
Well, we all know that's not a real reality. We've spoken about this several times on this channel about the academy and how it works. I'm just
Ozzy, I have to say to our Ozzy. So,
all right, Rich.
Join you soon.
I'll see you in 6 months, Rich. I'll see you in 6 months.
City for the 5 for the quad next season, I think.
That's 4, Rich.
I'm just going to try and go one more than Martin.
Hang on. Sorry, I've got to say this before it goes. I'm sorry to jump in and sound a bit rude, Rich. You're a CFO, and you just said City for the 5, City for the quad.
Yeah, well, because I'd forgotten we can't win a fifth trophy because we're not in the Charity Shield for the first time in about 100 years.
Isn't that a nice relief for a change?
Yeah, I'd forgotten. I'd counted it, and then I remembered.
I know it's close to the season. You have to give us that weekend off because we just don't experience it.
Yeah. So I had to.
So anyway, take care, Rich. We'll see you next week.
So,
is anybody going to the open training?
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
Ozzy's getting a bit click up.
Yeah,
sorry. He's found the video.
That's what, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call rookie error.
But before you go, Martin, I was going to say, I know we have all these discussions about our academy, but we still produce talent. I know people say this player is gone, that player is gone, but fortunate for us, we're in a position where our academy will still develop youngsters that we can bring through if we want to, or loan them out. And I think Trafford also shows that we can bring you back.
Ed, you're going to have to look at Chelsea. They've snapped half of our academy up. I mean, that's how well the academy is doing. Our rivals are snapping up most of the academy players that we produce.
No, but that's true. I looked around the Prem. Today, I looked at World Football. I'll have a nosy. Chelsea, they got half the City management, rookie team, EDS. Arsenal, Arteta, etc. Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus. Then I'm looking around the world of football and I'm like, Company gets sacked from Burnley and walks into Bayern Munich and wins them the league. I'm like, City just dominating football all over the world. As much as everyone hates us and says we're shit and we're really bad and we're really this, that, and the other, everyone wants to be us. I watched that Newcastle Arsenal game today, and I'm watching 2 goalkeepers, not very good, by the way. I thought Raya and Pope were both poor at doing it, but they were both trying to do Pep Guardiola football out from the back. I'm like, this is just crazy. Everyone hates us. Everyone, there's some people want Pep out, but everyone's adopting the Pep system.
And we all know, Mike, if Pep was to leave City tomorrow, every club,
90 clubs want him.
Even Liverpool would even take a pot. So as much as they would turn around and go, no, we'll keep slop and blah blah, they would take him in a heartbeat. Really and
And everybody's talking about Max Downey as this next great guy coming through, but keep an eye out on Sullivan, man. I'm backing my US guy. Came in on the Q1.
Talk about that in 2 weeks. Talk about that in 2 weeks on your new show. You be quiet. Back down in the back. Cheap seat.
Number 21, goal, look good. Keep an eye out, man. A lot of people talking about Max Downey. Keep an eye out on the Sullivan kid.
Have you seen? Obviously, we got 5 million from Leverkusen for I can't remember his name. Ralph. What's it called?
Alpha Rutrex.
There you go. 5 million euros for that.
Plus 50% sell-on clause too. So
there you go.
Look at it this way: he has 2 or 3 good seasons at Leverkusen. He'll go to Bayern Munich for about 70 million euro. That's a lot of money coming
Simpson Poo's there. He's going on loan, it looks like, house captain. Or was it Darcy that? He's on City extra runner. He looks like he's going to Celtic. Is it Celtic?
Celtic.
Which I think's a very good move for him. Listen, by the way, if anyone is going to the open training on the 5th of August, let us know. Because I am going to do a little mini vlog. I might go live while I'm there. We'll see. LB's going, Daps is going, I'm going. There's a few people going. So I'll be going in the comments. Come and say hello. It'd be lovely to meet people. I'm going to roam around for the day. So that'll be fun. And then there's Palmero. Is it Palmero?
Palermo.
Are you going out for that, Pat? You normally are.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Italy's just a quick weekend away, isn't it? Where I am.
Yeah.
Well, you normally do these quick weekends away.
Yeah, but not to bloody Italy.
You've just done it to Manchester. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I also did a week. I did nearly 10 days in Barcelona and Munich before I went to Manchester.
Well,
yeah, you should have seen him. Did you not get the photos of that?
I didn't even get the invite. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I got a photo of Pat at was it the Hilton you were at in Barcelona?
Grand Hyatt.
The Grand Hyatt.
Yeah.
With his legs out. I'm like, Pat, put them away.
Oh, no diddy.
Like you can talk, Martin, right now.
Yeah, no one wants to see your hairy drumsticks. Oh, God.
Oh, put it away. I will take you off camera.
Oh, that reminds me.
I have the power now.
That reminds me, I need to take the turkey out of the oven. Oh, God.
Don't make me do it.
Guys, I can do it myself. I've got host privileges. Don't worry, chat.
How many refills on the show? I go for about 5 over under.
Good God. I don't know. And I'm just going to do this because I've just said it. Luke, not in my lifetime pod, member for 13 months. Thank you very much, mate.
Go and give Not in My Lifetime a lot of love. Mabo, Alex, Luke, and the gang will show them a lot of love.
More than you believe. More than you believe I have you.
Before we wrap up, I just have a question for the panel. What's one thing you're looking forward to in this new season? What's something that you're keeping an eye out for, that you're a little excited about?
I'm actually looking forward to the derby. I know Martin normally hates the derby, but I've just got this feeling that United aren't going to get any better. I think they're just going to fall even further. But it'll just be very interesting. Because we're playing them so soon as well. We're playing in the first month?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think it's like the third match day.
Yeah.
It's 1 a.m. here, and it's 32 degrees still. What? I can't live abroad.
Yeah.
Couldn't live abroad.
Do you know what we call that back home, Martin? January.
Go on. What do we call that? You put it back home, cold Monday morning.
Yeah, January.
I'll tell you what, no, I'm looking forward to? I want a season where we actually back the boys. yes, we can criticise. Yes, we can have a whinge. But let's back the boys. There is no better club, no better fan base that is behind everyone. And Ed's laughing because he's like, you're not getting it, mate. You're not getting it. It is. I just want a season where we just back the boys. Back them. I want the Etihad rocking.
I think you get that next season, right? Next season.
Yeah, I'm not saying we can't criticise. I'm not saying we can't constructively. But this being a knobhead online, I'm going to say it. People who are being knobheads online, kill the fuck out. Touch grass. Go and have a beer. Go and get a girlfriend. Go and get a boyfriend. Do something. If Manchester City affects you in football that much, where you're having a meltdown, just relax. We have the best owners, the best manager, we have the best squad, and we have the best set of fans when we're together.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more, Martin. Really couldn't. Do we have any other business before we start off? Because I don't think there's that much more to chat about, really.
No, we'll be back. I'm back in the country Saturday morning, so I'll be back early next week. Fuller, new graphics, new everything.
Awesome. Well, we look forward
and then we'll be back, I think, to every day. We'll do shows every day then.
Well, you will.
Well, I will, yeah, because I'm a lazy, because I don't have a job.
Yeah.
Well, I do.
Do we have a start date? Do we have a start date, Martin, on the show?
No, I will let you know. No, I'm just clarifying with 2 more people, then the start date will be affirmed. I promise you it's coming out. I promise you. Oh, it's too warm. I need towels. I'm sweating. It's 1 a.m. I'm sweating.
And on that note, Pat.
No, just, ladies and gentlemen, this is an idea of what Martin's like when he goes 2 hours without a coffee, without Costa.
I have not had Costa while I've been here.
That explains everything.
I'm just showing you my hotel balcony. There's one of the 7 pools. Can you see?
Do you need 7?
I don't know why.
I only had 1 at my hotel in Barcelona. I wasn't carrying on about it.
Well, yesterday there was a foam party in the main pool. They have main pools, and the other 6 are just side pools. There was a foam
How much
party.
beer are you drinking?
Jeez, Martin.
They're asking if you have AC, Martin.
Yes, inside, not on the balcony.
Okay.
Yeah, his business won't allow him inside.
Yeah, I'm not allowed inside. Well, tomorrow, I'll tell you, we're going to Land of Legends. It's a sort of theme park. It's a theme park / water park. So we're at Land of Legends tomorrow.
Thank you for clearing that up. I thought it was some sort of waxworks.
Have fun, Martin, because you know when you get back, it's gonna be a hell of a ride, man.
Oh, it's been great. And yes, I'm off Twitter now. No more Twitter Spaces.
For now, that'll last about 5 minutes.
No, well, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to thank everyone for their patience. I have not really got the hang of the comments tonight, but
no, big up, Ozzy. Ozzy's done a magnificent job tonight. Well done.
No, I haven't. But thank you, Martin, for your saying that. Much appreciated for the super chats and the members. Everyone, thank you so much for your support. We really do appreciate it. And as Martin is showing, please hit that thumbs up. Please, if you're not sponsored, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one.
Road to 10K. Let's go.
Bye, everyone.